Hello, everyone. So here we are, making our way through the second section of the Young Family Long Form. Wonderful. You have made wonderful progress. Today, we are going to review any questions that you have. We're going to review our last movement, right heel kick, and probably some of the transitions just prior to that, some of our other movements. And then we're going to move on to left strike tiger. We'll finish the other strike tigers after we break for a couple of weeks. So let's get started right now by warming up. Let's do everything we know in the second section. So we'll get into our cross hands. Remember, when you're in cross hands, you are in your regular bent knee position, however you tend to do the form. Make sure you have a really lovely body shape, head lifting up. Long necks, shoulders down, bottom heavy. Your whole lower body is heavy and your upper body is very light. And you are relaxed and extended. And let's go. Embrace tiger, return to mountain. Roll back. Press. Push. Fist. Under elbow. Repulse monkeys. 1, 2, 3, 4. Diagonal flying. Raise hands and step forward. White crane spreads its wings. Left brush knee and push. Needle to sea bottom. Whoops. Got to remember to go on the correct way there. Fan through back. And let's take a couple of steps forward. And from fan through back, turn body. Chop with fist. Step up. Parry, block, and punch. Step up. Chengfu. Into grasp the bird's tail. Right ward off. Roll back. Press. Push. Single whip. Cloud hands. 1, 2, 3. Stepping to the corner. single whip. High pat on horse. Right, separation, kick. Left, separation, kick. Turn body, left heel kick. Boy, I'm having issues today. Left brush knee. Right brush knee. Step up and punch down. Turn body. Chop with fist. Step up. Parry, block, and punch. Step up and right heel kick. All right, well, I was a bit ragged on that. I don't know how everyone else was feeling. Sometimes that first practice, I also find, do you ever find this? I also find that when I'm thinking about a movement, it distracts me sometimes from doing the movement. So I end up, yeah, I'm seeing, seeing that's so true. You put your mind one place and then the whole thing is not there. And something else goes, oh, I'll try that just on its own. So it's kind of interesting that way. Let's do a little more practice. Why don't we take it from single whip and go through everything? And I'm going to give a few tips as we're going through. And then what I want you to do is anything in that area, all the way to what we're going to go all the way to right heel kick, any place in that area that you have a question or you want to go over, or you're feeling, well, wait a minute, I missed that class. Let me know what it is. Then we'll just go over it and see what's going on. Okay, Michael, yes.
I have a question about bow step.
Okay.
And the question is this: the distance between relation to shoulders and bow steps. For example, when we first start and we do, when we first start, our legs are basically the shoulder length. And as we turn, our legs are shoulder length. But when we step out, if we take our foot and change it this direction, we're still shoulder length. So I guess my question is, how far do you step out? Shoulder length, right? Is that correct?
It depends on what you mean by stepping out. But
well,
let me
step,
Right. Let me see if I can show you from. Let me see if I can show you from here. You're talking about the very first bow step, right? That we make?
Right.
So we are shoulder width apart right here, right?
Right.
And we come like this. And then we sink down. And then our left foot just comes out from where it is. So if you see my lines, they're shoulder width apart for me.
Now, does that carry through?
And then when we make the next one, the next turn goes like this. And our feet are actually more than shoulder width apart here. If I look, I go, oh, well, they're parallel, but wow, I'm fairly far apart, maybe if you have a big step. I have not a modest step, but it's not a small step. Then I come like this, and most people have a larger step here. So they let their foot come back to neutral, which we do in that particular footwork. And then we go out for a bow step. And there I would be out for a bow step, and I'm shoulder width apart. I'm a little to the left of the line here and a little to the left of the line there.
If you were to take your right foot and put it back in the corner, is your feet still shoulder length?
Yep.
Now, does that carry through at all the sessions?
All bow steps. All bow steps. And here's,
yes,
and here's how you find out. When you're in your bow step and you stop, if you can stop everything,
right.
Turn your back foot in line so that your toes are going the same direction.
Okay.
And then bring it up. Don't cheat. Bring it up as if you were on railroad tracks. And then you should be able to stand shoulder width apart. Because depending on how much you've bent your front knee in this bow step, you're going to feel different at different points in it, if it's a small bow step or a big bow step. But this will always feel the same. Turn it here, bring it up. This is even...
That holds true through the entire, all 108 moves.
It does. It even holds true. Remember when we said we do, yeah, and it even holds true when we do like a bow step to the corner, it even holds true then, right?
Sometimes I feel like I want to step further out than I probably normally would in a bow step. I don't know why. Because I've seen so many people do Tai Chi, and they're stretched out like this, and we just kind of.
We also see it from lots of different angles, and sometimes we're doing some like you're seeing something like this, and you're, wait, that looks weird to me, but this is a bow step, believe it or not. This is a bow step. Maybe it should be a little bit more like this, but this is a bow step. So if I turn this back foot and I don't cheat and I bring it up, you see my feet are shoulder width apart.
Yes, okay.
Okay, even when I'm going in the direction of the corner. This is a really, really good question. And
it's something I want to work on this week, is just footwork, and forget about the hands, and so I don't have to think about what my hands are doing, but just work on the footwork for a whole week.
Right, that sounds great. That sounds really great.
I just want to make sure I had that.
This was a great question and an important one. I'm going to move us past the extra practice that we were thinking of doing and ask what other questions or parts of that would you like to review? We will certainly review what we did last week.
That's my major question.
Okay, well, let's do from punch down. Okay, so and let's actually do it from this way, because if you really know it, this will also show the footwork really well, Michael. So if you look at the screen, right? So you're in a left bow step and you've punched down. Oh, wait a minute. No, I want to do it. Yeah, what I actually want you to do is turn away from the screen and put yourself in a left bow step with, your left hand's by your left knee, and your right hand's punching down and your body's a little to right. Nice. All right, now we're going to turn body chop with fist. What you're going to do is straighten up, and then you're rotating your right arm so it's across your body. You should be able to see that now. Well, maybe sort of see how my palm down, and your left arm is at the corner over your head, coming back, one arm up, one arm down, chop. That's a bow step. coming forward and strike. Then parry, block, and punch. Our right arm is going to go up, up, and turn. Remember that? Our left arm is going to rotate with the palm towards us. Then the right arm goes out, the left arm goes in. I'm still coming back and stepping in and out. One line's two sides. So by the time I'm here, I've stepped in and out on one line, two sides. And coming forward for parry, block, and punch. Block and punch. Moving on, Chengfu. We come back a little bit. Our left foot goes out, our right arm ward offs, and we've got 60% on that right foot. I'm sorry, that left foot. Sorry, that left foot. And then open your right hand, move your body over your foot, bring your arms up into cross hands, stand up as you might or might not do, and then heel kick and bring your foot in. So that's a way you can sort of see the footwork as we do it. Let's do it in the regular direction and then do it back in this first direction. In the regular direction, let's see, are you going to be able to see that? I'm going to turn away. Let's do it from here. Sorry. Punch down. So now you can look at the screen as you're turning. Coming up, turning, rotating that right arm palm down. Coming back. Chop, strike, parry, block, and punch. Right arm comes up, left arm rotating, you're coming back, right arm forward, left arm back, scoop them down, foot comes out, all of that, lots going on. And shifting forward, stepping out for your bow step as you block and punch. Chengfu. Coming back a little bit so that we can ward off. And our right arm's like got a pole here. Coming forward, grab, pull. Oh, no, don't grab, pull now. Just leave it. Come up and heel kick. There we go. So we've gone through it twice. Yes, Erlyn.
So in that heel kick, your chest is about corner when you stand up and you look. And when you kick out, your leg is kind of like to 9 o'clock?
Yes.
Okay, and your hand is over your leg. Or
Absolutely.
Is it, okay,
always.
all right.
No. Always. So
okay.
It's your hand is always, if you're doing, you know, if you're doing a heel kick, it's also over if you're doing a separation kick.
Okay.
Your elbow always sort of the arm, the kicking leg and the kicking arm, the elbow of they're always together.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah, it just felt a little different. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So that's that. Michael, how's that feeling for you?
I know my balance. I'm still working my balance, and the carpet and all these other things are going on around me as far as. But I'm still. It helped a lot when when I was kicking to the corners, and now I'm kicking straight because Because the only time I kick in the corners is the first kicks and the very last, but all the other kicks were like, I'm just gonna be facing you.
No, actually, well, it should feel the same because one foot is always to the corner. Like when you're doing a heel kick, one foot is to the corner and your body is also to the corner. So your body is to the corner when you're kicking. So you are not kicking this way. Just make sure you're not kicking this way. Right? With my body square in the direction to the direction I'm kicking. No. Always to the corner.
My rooted foot is always to the corner.
Your
right?
rooted foot is always to the corner, and with only one exception in the weapons. there is one in the weapons, which is different. But if your body is also to the corner, see this, your torso, your
Right.
shoulders is to the corner as well. Yes.
But in relationship to the way I'm moving, I'm kicking this direction. My foot's this direction, but I'm kicking. Like
yes, and yes, your foot and torso.
When I come down to the next move, I'm going to be right here for the next move, which we haven't done yet. But
that's right.
Okay, I just want to clarify that. No,
you're correct. You're absolutely correct. You've got it. All right. Well, let's practice that sequence of moves one more time. Let's do it from here. We don't get to see it from here very often because we're going at the other direction. So we have done punch down. We're going to do turn body chop with fist. Turn body. Chop with fist. Step up, parry, block, and punch. Step up, right heel kick. This is like the beginning of Chengfu. And right heel kick. All right. Any questions about that? All right, good. Do you want to go on?
Yes.
All right. All right. So our next movement is strike tigers, and strike tigers are really interesting because they train us in both sort of being in a position to coordinate our defensive and offensive moves. And we're actually doing that all the time, but it becomes really obvious here because we're actually violating one of our something that's normal. I don't want to say one of our principles. Something that's normally true is before we attack, certainly before we explode energy, we're in position. Our hands are in position, right? It's in the position we want it to be. But with fists and punches, this is not always true. We know this, right? Because in parry, block, and punch, we might have the fist made, but it actually, the arm rotates some as we throw it. So there's a little bit of that. Well, in this move, we're actually doing two things at once. So I'm going to show you the move, and then I'm going to explain what the two things are. And I'm also going to give you a link to a video, which is good for those of you who are in class, which will have Master Yang demonstrating those. So let's first look at the move. So we've just done a right heel kick. So I'm going to do it to this direction just so that you can see. We've done a right heel kick. Our body is to the corner as we've been discussing, but our kick is to 9 o'clock. We're going to come down and put our foot down And do you see that I'm sort of putting my foot down on the same, my heel is on the same line that my left foot is on, right? Don't worry if your heel, this is a transition step. Don't worry if your heel ends up a little this way or a little this way. But for most of us, we end up about here. Okay, so, and we're parallel. We're parallel. It's a transition step. Don't worry too much about it. But it is important that when this foot goes down, it's going to go down to the corner. Then we shift our weight and we let our arm swing across. And by the time it finishes, we are going to step. Then both arms start to swing as I start to move forward. My left arm goes faster and it's making this really big circle. My right arm is coming across my body. And then at the last minute, I make my fists. Now I made them a little later than I probably would normally, but this is left strike tiger. No, it's left strike tiger because you're striking with your left hand, your left foot is forward. Okay, so let me show it to you a little at normal speed so you can really just see it without talking. Left strike tiger. Okay, so what is the foot? So let me explain what's happening actually. So if someone is coming at me, this arm can come, they're coming at me. This arm can connect with them. Imagine somebody's arm coming in here, connect with them. I can I connect, and then I grab them, I pull them, and I pull them up. So what happens to them is they're coming at me and they get pulled up like this, and you're exposing, their ribs are exposed. And what happens? What happens? I've pulled them up and then I punch them in the ribs. Okay, so those two things work together, but maybe they're coming at with me from the other side. So why our hand is open here? I mean, if we knew, remember oh, why am I blanking on the name? Punch down. Not punch down. I'm blanking. So if you come up with it, let me, but earlier we have punched in the kidneys. Right? Right, exactly. Right, exactly. I'm just forgetting the name right now. It's not my day. It's all right. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. It's obviously not my day. So in fist under elbow, we made a point of making our fist up here so that we could punch when we needed to punch. But here, we don't know how we're going to be attacked. So we're ready to deflect. We're ready to we're ready to deflect and push somebody aside. If they're coming at us this way, we could push them aside and hit them in the temple, right? Deflect them and hit them in the temple. So it would be a smaller move. So when we're doing this movement, we're actually training our bodies for all sorts of options that can go together when both hands are on the same side. One is this pulling, and I pull them up here and I punch here. And the other one, which sort of looks very similar, I'm pushing them across and punching them at the top. So I would actually just you know, you wouldn't make this fist if you were doing that. You just have pushed them, right? So we just practice it making both fists. So I'm going to tell you a little bit more about, so let's do the footwork. And then we're going to tell you a little bit more about how we make those fists. Yes, Michael.
Is strike the tiger and tame the tiger words interchangeable?
I haven't heard tame the tiger, but I suspect that's the case.
When you step out, is that an empty step or a bow step?
It's a bow step.
It is a bow, so you're putting your 60% of your weight on your left foot.
By the time you're finished, yes.
Okay.
And
are you striking? Like, you know, are you actually striking with you know, as you push yourself forward?
So let's go through it step by step. All right.
Okay.
Let me say one other thing generally. Originally, in the very most original way this form was created, these were done sort of to the corners in a slightly different way. So you will see people doing Yang Tai Chi who are still doing that. And I think it was Yang Chengfu. I'll look that up. When Yang Chengfu made the major modifications, and if you see the Yang, if you see the form, the Yang form, oftentimes you'll see, you know, like the historical pictures. Those are from Yang Chengfu, and I believe that he was the one who put them in no longer on the diagonals. But we do have a form today. The senior form does it more towards the diagonals as well. So it's something that is still done. So just to let you know. Yes, Berlin.
Sorry, I'm just going to ask about that. Do you know why it was changed? Was it was it a functional thing?
I'll find out. I'll
Okay,
see if I can find out. I don't actually know that, and so I'm kind of getting in over my head because I have not been so historically interested until very recently. So that I will enjoy finding out for you. So I'll look into that. So let's do the footwork here first. I'm going to suggest that you do it this way so you can see more, and so we can show more on the videotape. So we have just done. We have our left foot to the corner. We have just done a right heel kick. So we're descending, and our right foot is going to come down, if you will, on the same line that our left foot is on, and it's going to be pointed towards the corner. Our arms do not move at this point. Now I'm just going to do the footwork. We're going to shift our body onto our right foot. Bring our left foot in and out for a bow step. Heel, ball, toe, bend knee. 60% on the front, 40% on the back. Bowing. You're all right. So let's just practice that again. Your left foot is to the corner. You have just kicked. You're coming down. You sink, bending your left knee. Your right foot goes on the same line towards 12 o'clock. Heel, ball, toe. As you come, your foot can come in and out. Into your bow step. Okay, so the footwork is fairly easy. How are we feeling about that? Let me show it to you from another view to make sure we've got it. So we are here, here, and is that no, sorry, right heel kick. Sorry, I knew it was wrong. I'm looking at the screen. Right heel kick. We come down. shift, and out for our bow step. All right. Why don't we do one more of them? Let's do it from this side. So from here, oh, you'll be turning away. So we'll do another one from here, I guess. Let's do it from here. Kicking, sinking, rooting, swinging over, shifting over, stepping out for a bow step, shifting weight. Okay. Yes, or Lynn.
There's another move, I don't remember what it is, but this seems to be another case of when you are doing that swing step into the bow step before you do your arms. It's like you can't, because your bow step is going to be oriented towards 12 o'clock when you're done.
Yeah.
You can't just step out. You have to step back towards.
Okay, so let me show you what's, yes, let me show you what's going on. So, yeah, let me show you, this is a good point. It has to do with, so we're doing a right heel kick. Here we go. I'm just trying to figure out how I can show you. So you can actually, I'm gonna, because you want to see how far I'm stepping out. Let's see. No, I think we want to be here. Let's try here. I'm either here or the other direction. Okay. So I'm going to come down. I'm going to come down and put my foot down here. But now if I were to look at how far my heels are apart, can you see that this is my shoulder width? Do you see that I am further than shoulder width, right? Do you see that? Right here, when I just came down naturally. I was further, most people are, not everybody is, but most people are. So because of that, when you shift yourself over, right, you let this foot come to neutral. Then you can step out for your bow step. Does that make sense? That's every time we come in and then go out like that, it's when you were turning, certainly. It's because we were more than shoulder width apart when we came down, or most people are more than shoulder width, so we teach it that way.
Okay, yeah, I have a tendency to just be less than shoulder at the very end, and because I'm not stepping towards the true direction of the final bow step is the problem. So I don't think my foot when we step down either was pointing in the right direction. So I just need to.
So let's do it this way. Let's do it this way, because the footwork, as we talked about earlier, is really important. So here we go. Let's do it this way. So we've kicked. We're coming down. You can follow it here. Make sure that look at your foot. Root with your heel of your right foot. I know you can't see it right now, but point your toes to what you think is a diagonal. Then shift over onto it. Now you want to think that this is the way you're going. And once you've got your body over there, you're going to feel like you need to bring this foot in. But then once you've brought it to neutral, yes, you have to step wider to get to what feels like wider this way, to get to a real bow step that's not too narrow.
Thank you. That was helpful.
Okay.
Yeah, very, thank
Okay, good. I think that's really, that's where it is. So that's the footwork. So let's talk about the arms. The first part of that transition, so we're like this. We've had kicking arms. We're like this. So I'm going to put us like this with your right hand over here if you want to do this. And as we shift our weight over, this arm comes like we've had it so many times. This arm remains in its kicking arm position. It doesn't move. And your left arm comes and the fingertips point to the middle forearm, right? So it's the fingertips that point. It's the fingertips that point. So I can't really see how everybody's doing it, right? If you did it on the other side, it would be the other way. So from here, we can practice this on both sides because we're going to do another one on the other side, right? So it comes across like this. And you keep a nice, you don't get compressed, keep a nice body shape. Okay, so then it comes across like this. So whichever side you're doing it on. Okay, so across or across. Okay, so it's coming across. Then, then it's gonna, the one that's inside always makes a big swing and ends up above you. Okay, so the one that's here swings. And and it could be this one, swings. So it can be either one, because we're going to do next time, we're going to do it on the other side. Notice that when I finish, I've got a palm out fist, and the fist eye, the hole is facing down. Palm out, facing down. Notice too that it's a lot like white crane, the white crane position of your arm. Okay, so for this particular one, so the other, let's just do that hand for now. Let's see. So we are, so we're going to bring the left arm across, and then the left arm is going to swing and make a fist. And you're going to endeavor to keep your shoulders down. Nice keeping your shoulder down, Erlen. I have trouble, some of us do, keeping their shoulder down. Yeah, sometimes you have to just really pull from back here. So so that's that. So what happens with the other arm? Trying to remember what. Right. So that's our left arm doing that in right striped tiger. Our other arm has been up here doing nothing, right? It just stayed here. It stayed here. Our left arm came over, and then it's going to do this big swing. Our right arm is going to, the elbow's going to stay down, but it's going to turn in. See this tiger's mouth? It's going to come across our body, palm down. Then as it's getting across our body, it's going to make a fist. And then it's going to turn up right before it hits. So it's going to do this. It's going to come across, make a fist and turn. Because it's showing what? It's showing I could intercept somebody's punch and keep going. But it's also showing, alternatively, I could be coming in for a punch. And you're learning how to make that punch fast, because you never know what your opponent's going to be doing. Okay, so when we put the two together, we were here. So on my right hand, left hand arm comes over, left arm swinging, right arm starting to come across, both make fists. And here we are. Nice. Now, where is this? And when you do it on the other side, you'll be doing it on the, it's like the opposite. It's just exactly the opposite. So if over the vacation you want to practice swinging your arms both directions, that works too. So when we're holding think of holding a pole. The pole goes through these fist eyes. Think of holding a pole. You don't want the pole in here. You want nice body shape. Shoulders down. Bottom part of the hold is right in front of sort of your belly button, right in front of your stomach. That looks nice. Yeah, and you can do it on the other side. You might as well practice now while you're here. Put the other one up as if you were in white crane, except it's a fist, right? Nice. It's very easy to sort of get off, but just think of holding a pole. It really works wonders. That image works wonders when you're learning it. And Master Yang also gives tips that you don't, when you really start swinging your arms, don't tip your body, right? Your body needs to stay straight too. You need to have equal power on both sides. So how about we try putting it all together? So I'm going to suggest we start here in our right heel kick. Right heel kick. Come down. We're going to step on that right foot to the corner. As we move, our arm swings across and our foot comes forward and roots, and we look at the very last moment. We looked the new direction. Then the left arm is swinging. Notice that I'm moving forward. The right hand is turning. I'm making my fists and punching. Let's do it again. That's looking great. Kick, descend, stepping to the corner, shifting, swing that arm over and look, step. Arms, close, step, right? And swing, step. Left arm down, coming forward, right arm across, punch. Let's do it a little faster. And kick, in, descend, shift, arms, step, gaze, arms. Everything finishes at the same time. Any questions?
You
Yes,
talked- but you
Berlin.
talked about your shoulder being up, right? You were talking about the shoulder
Yes,
up like this.
yes.
I was noticing that if I come up this way, it brings my shoulder, but if I come out, if I bring my circle out a little bit further, it keeps it more of a,
Yes, if you're back here, there's nothing you can do.
Right.
It kind of has to be up. But if you're out in front, which is where you're supposed to be, then you can keep it down.
like here.
Yeah, it's easier to keep it
Other
down. It's still hard. It's hard for some of us to keep it down. I sometimes,
Well, it makes sense because a person's not going to be this, his face is not going to be here anyway, right? His face is going to be over here. So you probably want out to come
Right.
out a little bit to hit him.
right.
Yeah, that
Erlyn,
makes more sense.
Erlyn, you had a question too.
Yeah, it's about the synchronization of the heel, ball, toe, and hand. So the direction of where the power is going, and then just going through that last, like, where you're how far forward you are, you know, the heel, ball, toe, and then forward, where the arms are at what point, just for that last thing.
Yeah, I think that's something I don't know consciously. At one point, I think they're kind of like this, actually. What I will offer you is I will do it without thinking about it, and you'll see how I do it. But you're also going to have Master Yang's video, which is probably a better model, right? So I'm coming across and then executing. So we can slow that down, and you can watch it. Yes.
Would you mind doing it ending up facing sideways, because that way I can see your body moving forward at the end with the
Sure. Sure. Let me try. Set. So you want me to end up facing side? I think this will work.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, it looked
Okay.
all pretty much all smooth together. There wasn't any real, yeah. Okay.
It is the way people I have heard teach it, and is moving, just consistently moving forward. So remember, this is coming depending on what you would really choose in this. Like if you're deflecting, right? There's this big body turn. You're getting if you're catching somebody here, and then, I mean, you're initially connecting, but then you're pulling them up, right? If you're doing that, you're also powering your punch here with this turn. It's not so much from you're going forward. It's mostly powered by the turn. And if you're, so that was like what? That was the punch. And if you're deflecting, again, you're using the turn to power your push, and you're using your turn to throw your arm. So it is not so much like when we strike, the energy coming this way, as you're really going to be grounded at the end. At least that's my interpretation. Now, I'm not, this is not my move, right? So I will ask about this too. I will go back. Truth to tell, I have not taught this on Zoom ever before, and I taught it before the pandemic in person, so it's been a long time. So my Tai Chi's developed, and there's a lot.
Doing a great job.
Well, thank you. My Tai Chi's developed, but my teaching may not have in this area. So I bless that you folks, I'm just so grateful for the fact that you folks have given me these great questions, and I will take them to other folks who I can talk about them with. So sounds good. All right, I think we should end class and more after the holiday. So have a very wonderful holiday, everyone. 同志们再见。